So, unless you've been living under a rock for the last few months, you'll know that on Tuesday, the 8th of November, the USA will decide who their next president will be, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. Now, I've got my opinion, but let's see what the people here think. US election on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Big election, probably the most historic US election.
Definitely.
Trump versus Clinton. Who do you think is going to win?
Who I think will win? I think Hillary Clinton will win.
Who do you think is going to win, Trump or Clinton?
Hopefully Clinton.
Why is that?
Because Trump is an idiot.
Trump all day long.
Why do you think that?
Because New York, if you look what he's done for New York, the buildings he's built and everything that he's done, he's definitely, yeah.
So you think he's going to create more jobs for people?
Yeah, 100%.
Personally, I feel that the establishment itself is sort of set up this kind of, in a way, we've had a lot of history of the US rigging elections in a way. We saw it with the scandal with George Bush in 2001 versus Al Gore.
From your side, from America, who do you think is going to win?
I hope Clinton wins.
Okay.
I think Trump is a disaster for the world.
Do you think he has a realistic chance of getting in?
It's possible. It's possible. The closer it gets, it seems like it gets a tighter race.
I think it's going to be Clinton. Clinton's going to win. I think everything that Trump has done and said, he's blown it for the Republican Party.
I'm not talking about Trump Towers, but his dad was a big person in creating jobs for people and all that.
So Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton on Tuesday, all will be decided. Who do you think is going to win?
I'd like Hillary to win. I have a suspicion Donald Trump might now win.
I think it's in the balance at the moment. I think before she was leading, but since this FBI email scandal's come out again, he's starting to lead in front. I think she might win, but it's kind of all in the balance.
The thing is, Clinton's more professional. Even though she's had her scandals in the past and all these things, she's more professional, she's more concise with what she says.
I have to hope it's going to be Hillary. I think I definitely support her. I can't imagine anyone's going to vote for Trump, but you never know. But I think it's going to be Hillary.
I think the problem is whoever's in the press, that's when the popularity starts to fall. And I thought he would start to be in the press towards the end of this race, but it seems that she is the one that's getting all the bad coverage, really. And I think that's what's really harming her campaign. Unless he makes any more, awful comments, that's what's going to change it.
The Lehman Brothers.
Phone's going off. Interruption. Donald Trump's on the phone. So you think that all of his policies and the way he's acted is pretty bad?
He's childish. He's just proving that if you want to be a heart surgeon, you've got no qualifications, just go out and do it.
A lot of people like that he's a businessman and he's not a politician, though.
World War III, that's all I think of when I think of Trump.
I think Hillary Clinton's going to win.
Yeah?
Yep.
And why is that?
Well, at this point, Donald Trump has made a mockery of the whole political system, and it's a lot of hate that he's spewing out. And there are some Republicans even on his side saying that they don't want him to win, just based off of the way he handles himself.
Well, I would like Hillary to win. I think that if Trump wins, the whole world's in big trouble.
Some independent party.
So you think neither Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton will win?
Exactly.
Why do you think someone like Donald Trump has such a big backing, so much support from a lot of American people? What do you think's happened this time around to make it different to other elections?
I think the fact that he's not a politician. So he says it how it is, and he just speaks his mind. Yeah. I think he speaks it in the wrong way. I agree that we need like a businessman to run the country, but the way he speaks his mind and says it, I think that's what has attracted so many people to follow him, because he's not doing the typical politician talk that everyone's used to. And I think everyone's got tired of it, and that's why everyone has followed him.
So why do you think so many people are behind Donald Trump despite what he's said and done?
It's hard to say, really. Honestly, I believe that there's still a little bit of racism that goes on in the country, and some of the stuff that he says, although it be basic and just we're going to make America great again, he has no real plan. But just hearing those words, even though they sound hopeful to some people, they like hearing that, especially when he's very driven, he's very animated.
Yep.
And that kind of stuff sells. So a lot of people go behind that and they say, you know what, he's really trying to do something, but they're not hearing him out for the empty words that he's really saying.
Do you think if he gets in, because there's a realistic chance, how much do you think it will affect the UK's relationship with the USA?
Majorly, definitely. Because we're so chummy with the US, I think it is going to cause a big scene.
Not sure. I like to think there's a special relationship. I'm not sure. Not sure how true that is anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the presidency isn't as big as it might appear. There's a lot of checks and balances, so I'm hopeful that even if someone like Trump wins, the relationship's going to stay the same. We're still going to be able to work with them, but I think everything's going to be stronger if Hillary wins.
I think our relationship will be a lot different than it was Barack Obama, as he wasn't so weird and mad.
Oh, it's very, very cold.
If Trump gets in, I feel that, well, David Cameron before said that he was a fool to speak about how he spoke about Muslims and Mexicans and immigrants. And as we know, the UK has changed after a long time of colonialism. We see that the UK is more accepting now of immigrants. We have our own communities, London especially.
So you think the UK will distance itself from the US if Trump's in charge?
I feel that, I don't think we'll distance itself, we'll still have that special relationship we have, but I feel also we'll be occupied with Europe much more as well.
I think it's a protest vote, and I think that people don't have a lot that they can choose between, and I think that Clinton has a lot of a legacy, and people think that they are struggling, they want to see something different. I hope that it doesn't work, because I don't think Trump's the right way to go, but I think people want to make sure that their voices are being heard.
Do you think that there's enough people out there in America to actually vote for him?
Uneducated people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, we were having this complete change all over the world, aren't we, with Marie Le Pen in France as well. You know, politics is becoming very different and people are starting to think change isn't happening when politicians are in place. So I think, you know, it's just one side of it. You've had Brexit here, so.
And you're from Sweden. How do people look at Trump and Clinton in Sweden?
I mean, Trump, I think, looks like a joke for most people, so I think that they're going to be laughing at him. I think Hillary has been in the public eye for so long. I think she doesn't have necessarily the greatest image, but she's hugely qualified, and I think everyone sees her that way.
I think everyone right now has got rose-colored glasses on for either one candidate or the other, and I think once you get through it and you look back, it's like, oh, okay, I made a mistake.
You think if someone like Donald Trump ran for Parliament here, do you think that anyone would vote for him?
No.
But if Brexit can happen, maybe Donald Trump can get in as president. Who knows?
No, he's a bigot.
Well, we'll find out on the 8th of November, won't we?
Yes, we will.